Light is Britain's far-right conspiracy theory paper spreading hate and vicious lies. No, that's what the BBC say. The Light is the only national newspaper bringing you the real news and informed opinion on what's really going on today. You can subscribe, order copies, submit articles, and read back issues on our website, thelightpaper.co.uk, and see for yourself why the establishment are so worried about the uncensored truth getting out to people every month. The Light Paper. Not far right, just right so far. thelightpaper.co.uk.
Scene script. Have you ever pondered the idea of financial independence and early retirement? The notion of not having to clock in at 9 or wrestle with the daily grind? Imagine a life where you're not shackled by financial obligations or a demanding job. It's not an impossible dream, but a reality for those who embrace the FIRE movement. That's financial independence, retire early. Consider the tale of Jane, a woman in her early 30s. Jane was an ordinary person living an ordinary life. She had a 9-to-5 job, a mortgage, car payments, and a lifestyle that was comfortable but hardly extravagant. And like most people, she dreamed of a life where she didn't have to worry about money. Jane decided to make a change. She began by cutting back on non-essential expenses, saving as much of her income as possible. She invested wisely, focusing on assets that generated passive income that didn't require her to trade time for money. Slowly but surely, Jane began to build her financial independence. She was still working, but she was no longer living paycheck to paycheck. She had a safety net, a cushion that gave her the freedom to make choices based on what she wanted, not what she needed. Fast forward 10 years, Jane, now in her early 40s, had achieved her goal. She was financially independent. She had enough passive income to cover her living expenses, and she no longer needed to work to survive. She was free to retire early, to spend her time as she pleased. Jane's story may seem extraordinary, but it's not unique. It's the story of anyone who has embraced the principles of the FIRE movement. It's a tale of discipline, of sacrifice, and of a relentless pursuit of financial independence. To summarize, the key points discussed today revolve around the idea of financial independence and early retirement. It requires discipline and sacrifice, cutting back on non-essential expenses and saving as much as possible. It involves investing wisely, focusing on assets that generate passive income. But most importantly, it requires a change in mindset. It's about seeing money not as a means to buy things, but as a tool to buy freedom. It's about understanding the true value of time and the freedom that comes with not having to trade it for money. This is the essence of the FIRE movement. It's not just about retiring early, it's about achieving financial independence, about gaining the freedom to live life on your own terms. Like Jane, you too can embrace the principles of the FIRE movement and embark on a journey towards financial independence and early retirement. After all, the only thing standing between you and your financial freedom is you.
Ever wondered how much you'd need to save to achieve financial independence? The answer lies within the mathematics of a concept known as FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The most essential number in your journey to financial independence is calculated by multiplying your annual spend by 25. Notice the emphasis on annual spend, not annual income. This calculation is based on the principle that you need £300 invested for every pound you wish to spend each month in passive income. Hence, your FIRE number is also your monthly spend times 300. This mathematical principle is founded on the 4% safe withdrawal rate, as defined by financial advisor William Bengen. He proposed this rate after analyzing the S&P 500, which typically produces an average of better than 10% growth per year when studied over a period of approximately 30 years. Bengen considered factors such as inflation and market volatility. After studying previous market activity, he concluded that a 4% rate of withdrawal per year would provide for a 30-year sustainable portfolio in the vast majority of cases. So to paint a clearer picture, if your monthly spend is £1,000, then your target for financial independence is 300 times 1,000, or or £300,000. Alternatively, if your annual spend is £12,000, your financial independence target is 25 times 12,000, which also equates to £300,000. The first step in planning your financial independence, therefore, lies in understanding your monthly and yearly expenditure. Without this knowledge, it is impossible to take further strides towards your financial freedom. In summary, the mathematics of FIRE revolves around the principle of multiplying your annual spend by 25 or your monthly spend by 300 based on the 4% safe withdrawal rate. Knowing your monthly and annual spend is crucial in determining the amount you need to save to achieve financial independence. Armed with this knowledge, you can then plan your journey towards financial freedom. Remember, the journey to financial independence is not a sprint, but a marathon. Embrace the mathematics of FIRE and take the first step towards your financial independence today.
Good morning, guys. It is 7:59 on Tuesday the 3rd of March 2026, and that means that we have completed 3 years and 48 weeks of this roughly 8-year FIRE journey, or FIRE experiment if you prefer. So we're approaching the 4-year mark. Not quite there yet. We have 25,640 still left to invest in the portfolio. The practice account on Trading 212 gives you £50,000 to play with, if you like. And just a quick look at the markets before everything resets. So close yesterday was up almost 0.3%. The trading price currently sitting at 97.21 on the Vanguard S&P 500, and in terms of the portfolio itself, current portfolio value 31,960 odd, the return on investment 31%, and we have 328 shares in the market with an average purchase price of £74.10. Now, before we do anything else, let me draw your attention to Monzo.
I want a bank that makes money easy.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
And you are?
We're a bank called Monzo.
Oh.
I want a bank that shows me what I spend instantly.
No problem, just give us a go. See?
Can you make splitting bills easy?
Super easy, check this out.
But it's a real faff to sign up.
It takes less than 10 minutes.
Race you.
You're on.
Can I talk to a real person 24/7?
Of course.
Even now?
Yep.
Even now?
Anytime.
Can you tell me when I'm running a little low on cash?
We certainly can.
Cool. Can I afford these?
You certainly can't, sorry. Can't afford that either.
That's a real shame.
Not really. Time's up, how'd you get on?
It's a draw. Can you help me save for my next holiday?
Oh, how about you set up a savings pot in the Monzo app called Barbados, baby?
Thanks for listening, Monzo.
We're all ears.
We can go now.
Rude. You make Monzo Monzo.
Okay, so as you can see, there are affiliate links in the description for the video. There's one for Monzo and one for Smarty Mobile. The past number of weeks there had been another one for Trading 212 itself. The truth is, it is still possible to sign up to Trading 212, but there's only 1 day remaining on that offer, and for that reason I've decided not to actually include it in the description for this video. because I think it should take longer than that to do your research to decide that that is the platform for you, and that you are happy with the risks involved in investing and so on. So as I say, just for that reason, I have decided not to actually include it in the description. Let's go ahead and look at the notifications. Not much actually showing here. So biggest stocks before earnings: quantum computing, AST, Space Mobile, Big Bear AI, Archer Aviation, and Plug Power. I quite honestly don't recognize very many of those at all, but it doesn't matter. Travel stocks sink: Lufthansa down 7%, TUI down 8.5%, Air France down 8.5%, and Carnival down 8% on Iran war travel chaos. So that's referring to, well, basically, as far as I understand it, in a word, Trump took out the Iranian leader, or at least the Iranian religious leader. I'm not sure if it was yesterday or the day before, and that has hit the travel industry quite significantly. And I suppose it's not just Trump at this point in time. It seems as though the Israelis appear to have joined in, I suppose, might be the best way to put it. But anyway, you'll be able to see all that on the news channels, or look it up historically if you're watching this at a later date. So in the meantime, the market has opened, and it has opened in a downward shift. It's interesting, actually, just coming back to the news. I had heard yesterday that in addition to the political turmoil, that there had been some effects in terms of the oil market. Basically, it seemed as though supply was being restricted, either because of strikes on places that produce oil, or because of issues with transporting through the Strait of Hormuz. And obviously, whenever supply is reduced, then price goes up, and I had heard that had happened. And then, of course, obviously, there's going to be other knock-on effects. So it's an odd sort of a situation. As I say, restricted flow equals higher prices for some goods, and then if you are buying the higher prices, that may have a knock-on effect on your production costs. So higher prices in one place can equal lower profitability elsewhere, and so on. It's not a black and white issue. So market down 0.2% currently, 0.42%. If you just zoom in a little bit, you can see that there had been a bit of a drop recently. I actually thought it was worse than what it looks like there on that, but obviously it doesn't look too bad there, with a little bit of an apparent attempt to climb back in the past couple of weeks, but it's by no means certain what direction the market is going to go in at this stage. So with that said, guys, let's get on and do this week's investment. So each week, regular viewers will know I buy £120 of the S&P 500 exchange traded fund, the Vanguard variant, if you like. And this is on Trading 212's practice platform. At the current market price, that's going to buy us roughly 1.2 shares. We try to buy on the open market. We don't set any stops or limits and so on. And let's send it through, see how it goes. So that has executed instantly, and we got 1.23 shares. The purchase price 96.82. And if we look at the figures on the right hand side here, so I think when I looked at the portfolio value, the market hadn't perhaps reopened yet. It has since reopened in a downward direction, so even despite the investment just now, the portfolio value is still just under 32,000, sitting at 31,950. And the return on investment down slightly at 30.5%. But we now have 330 shares in the market, and our average purchase price is up slightly to 74.18. That is the situation as things stand this morning. If you're interested in following the journey, please subscribe to the channel. And if you particularly found this episode of interest, why not give it a thumbs up? But that is all from me for this week. I'll be back again next week. In the meantime, have a good week, look after yourselves, and hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.
Woke up one morning, saw the world in a new light. No more 9 to 5, I'm living my own fight. I got a plan that's simple, a number game to play. It's the freedom that I'm chasing, I'm walking away. They said it's impossible, just a dream so far, but I've learned to count the cost. Now I'm driving my own car. I don't need a mansion, don't need a fancy name. I've got peace of mind and I'm free from the daily grind shame. It's not magic, it's maths, it's a clear-cut path. Building wealth day by day, it's all about the craft. I've got my numbers straight, my future's looking bright. No more working for a paycheck, I'm free to take flight. It's not magic, it's maths, it's the way I live. Financial freedom's waiting, with all that I can give. I cut back on the clutter, I got my spending in check, investing in my future, no time for regret. The years go by faster, my money's working too. I got a plan that's steady and it's seeing me through. They said I couldn't do it, said it wouldn't last, but I'm retiring early, leaving all that stress in the past. I'm building my empire, brick by brick. The math's all adding up and it's working real quick. It's not magic, it's maths, it's a clear-cut path. Building wealth day by day, it's all about the craft. I've got my numbers straight, my future's looking bright. No more working for a paycheck, like it's maths and it's mine to take. A life of freedom, no more decisions to make.